Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So to start off this look, we're going to be using the Tarte Maracuja Oil. I'm just going to be using 2 drops. That'll be completely enough for my face. So I'm just going to rub it in a little bit and then we're going to pat it into our skin. Once we feel it's absorbed, we're going to move on to primer, and for that, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Rub it in a little bit and then we're going to pat it into our skin. So while we let the primer set, we're going to move on to eyebrows. And for the eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Colorstay Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. And I'm just going to fill in my brows as I normally do. Once I've filled them in, I'm going to use a little bit of the NYX HD Concealer in the shade CW04. And with an angled brush, I'm just going to define that edge on our brow bone. And using that same concealer, I'm just going to apply a little bit on my eyelids, and I'm just going to blend it with a normal synthetic brush. And that's going to work as our base for the eyeshadows. But we need to set that concealer. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made Palette in the shade Buttery with an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. And I'm just going to pat it in all over my lid. And then, using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to use Golden Ochre with a MAC 224 brush. And I'm just going to apply that all over my crease. Then we're going to move on with Spice from Morphe with a Morphe brush as well. This one I'm using is the M433. And I'm just going to apply that on my crease, but I'm not going to go up high that much. And then we're going to use Flame from Morphe. But now we're going to apply it with the Morphe M506 brush. So we're going to define it a little bit more on our crease so we can see more of that transition of colors. And then I'm going to go back with the Modern Renaissance palette using the color Realgar with the same brush that we were using, the Morphe M506 brush. And now to bring a little bit more definition, we're going to use Cyprus Umber from the Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm just using an angled brush just to make sure that it's a little bit thinner, that line, and then we're gonna blend it in. I'm gonna use the Elizabeth Matte Blending Brush. And before we move on with glitter, I'm gonna use the NYX Eyeshadow Bedroom Eyes. This is just gonna work as a base. Now, this glitter, it's from EK, but unfortunately, it doesn't have a name, but I do remember getting it from the Morphe website. So there's that. And I'm gonna use the liquid sugar just to make sure that glitter sticks on our eyelids, and I'm just using a synthetic brush. Anything would do it. This is actually a brush that came in with the eyeliner we're gonna be using later today, so anything that is synthetic will be perfect for this job. Now that the messy part is over, we're gonna move on with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Light Beige, and I'm just gonna apply it with a Morphe Y6 brush. And once that foundation is all blended, I'm gonna actually finish up my brows and use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade Medium to Dark. And now we're gonna move on with concealer, and I'm actually gonna use the NYX concealer we previously used, as well as the Maybelline Age Rewind in Neutralizer. So I'm just gonna blend them in with my beauty blender, like so. And I'm gonna set all of that concealer with the RCMA No Color Powder with the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush. And now that we're letting that set, I'm gonna use a little bit of the NYX concealer and apply it on the center of my face. So my chin, bridge of the nose, and center of the forehead. And I'm just gonna blend it with my beauty blender. Now I'm gonna set again all of that concealer, but with a beauty blender, and this is actually just baking everything with the same powder that we were using earlier. Now to bring a little bit more warmth into the skin, I'm gonna use the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Dark, and I'm gonna be using it with the Morphe R2 brush, and I'm just gonna apply it on the outer areas of our face, basically. A little bit on our cheeks, on our jawline, And to contour our face, I'm going to use a Tarteist Pro Glow from Tarte in the shade Sculpt. with a Morphe M437 brush. And I'm just gonna contour on my cheeks. I'm gonna bring that color into our jawline, and I'm also gonna use a little bit on our hairline. To contour my nose, I'm actually gonna use a smaller brush. This is just a regular blending brush from Sephora that I have from years ago. And to make our cheeks look a little bit more chiseled, I'm gonna use a little bit more of that powder and the Beauty Blender just to make sure that we're baking and lightening up a little bit more of that area, as well on the sides of my nose. Now we're gonna finish up our eyes with Burnt Orange from the Modern Renaissance palette and the Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just gonna apply that all over our lower lash line. And then I'm gonna use Realgar from the same palette with a Morphe M431 brush, again just to bring a little bit more of that gradient. And just to finish everything up, we're gonna use Cyprus Umber with the Morphe M432 brush. And now to dust all of that excess powder away, I'm gonna use the Morphe M438 brush. And for our brow bone, I'm gonna use Primavera from the Modern Renaissance palette with a regular brush. This one actually doesn't have a name. And for eyeliner, I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Laquer liner in the shade Blackest Black. And I'm just gonna do my wing eyeliner as I normally do it. And to open up the eyes a little bit more, I'm gonna use the Sephora Gel Eyeliner in the shade Ice Ice Baby. I really like this eyeliner. For mascara, I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in the shade Carbon Black. I'm just gonna do a little coat on my lashes as well as my bottom lashes, but nothing big because I'm gonna be using the Ardell Wispies lashes. Moving on to blush, I'm gonna be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade 02. And for highlight, we're gonna be using the Milani Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder in the shade 02 with a Morphe M510 brush. Moving on to the lips, I'm gonna be using the Kat Von D Liquid Lipstick in the shade Lolita. And just to set everything, we're gonna move on with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.